Welcome to the Daniel Spee Podcast. Another episode on how I think. Today's episode follows up on a previous one in which I suggest ways for you to break down the words and what you read or what you say, what's written, what's spoken, and how to ask questions when you read something that lacks clarity. Doing so is going to allow you to gain more information and understand what the author is intending to communicate, or for you to communicate better. So today's going to be short and significant. Number one is to frame your actions when you speak or write positively. Don't use negative words such as don't, can't, shouldn't. Here's an example of avoiding the use of a negative. Don't forget to save your work. And after, remember to save your work. Which one sounds more inspiring and productive and influential? Don't forget, save your work, or remember to save your work. So the result of eliminating negatives creates clarity, and it really amplifies what you want to intend to communicate. So framing it for your team, when you're briefing collaborators or customers, same thing, use positive, specific language. Instead of saying something such as, don't overlook urgent documents. Flag the documents labeled urgent as high priority to ensure we process them within 24 hours. As you get started with taking action to align with your intention, these positively framed instructions like this, they're going to keep everyone moving forward in the same direction on the team without confusion and wasted effort. Here's an example of a compound negative statement. Don't drive on the left side of the road except on Sundays when you can't drive on the right side of the road as traffic is one way coming in that direction. It becomes simpler too after you avoid the use of negative words and you make it clear and positive. Here's the way of saying that in a clear and positive way. Drive on the right side of the road. Traffic's going to be coming toward you on the left. On Sundays, both lanes run in your direction, so choose an alternate route. Number two suggestion I have for you is to avoid the use of the word but. Now, if you read what ChatGPT tells you, if you ask it for a response, question you ask ChatGPT, the response is loaded with the word but. It's supposed to be intelligent communication. If you read some of your best-selling novels, depending on the author, there was one I couldn't even read past a few chapters, because every single page had half a dozen or 10 buts. Drop the word but completely. You'll be amazed at how much clearer things become and how much more positive they become. If you find that difficult, just replace the word but with a comma. Here's an example. I love your enthusiasm, but we need to tighten the timeline. And here's after. I love your enthusiasm. Now let's tighten the timeline. My next example is replace the word because. Because is like but. It doesn't really belong in a sentence. It kind of implies a whole bunch of things. Replace because with as. Can soften resistance. Here's an example of replacing because with as. We're pausing this project because we need more data. Versus, we're pausing the project as we need more data. Which is more clear and positive, and if you were working at your job, would you feel better about? We're going to pause the project because we don't have enough data. We're going to pause the project as we need more data. That's the end of today's episode. If you want more on this, previous episode I have on the meta model, on language and framework and questions you can ask to get more clarity on something you're reading or hearing or that you are speaking or writing, especially if you're writing a book. Don't count it on ChatGPT to do it. Painful for me how much time I have to spend if I even begin to ask ChatGPT or AI for a response for something to help me tighten it up. I mostly use for editing. It kind of ruins it. Comes back with buts and becauses all over. That's it for today. Until next time, work on your language, break down the words and what you read or hear to ask questions better and to understand the meaning of the communication that you or the author speaking or writing it intended. Thanks for listening. I'm Daniel Steve.